from my perspective, I looked at Polkadot as a whole. There's kind of two big initiatives. One is to make Polkadot more accessible and easy to build on for developers. And then the other one is, of course, to continue to improve Polkadot as we know it today, which I kind of think of as the Polkadot cloud. This is like a Web3 cloud where people can basically launch applications and get all the resilience and decentralization and basically execution of a Web3 cloud platform.
Okay, here we are with Sean, a core developer for Polkadot, and we're here in Sub0 at Bangkok. So super excited to be meeting you here. Can you just, talk about what Sub0 is? Like, what's this conference all about?
Sure. So Sub0 has a history of being a developer-focused conference. So it's really about, bringing the builders and getting them up to speed on what's going on and how to build. I think this Sub0 is a little bit different than the past because Sub0 has always, obviously Substrate has been the platform for building Polkadot, but it's been such a good SDK and such a robust SDK that actually other teams from other ecosystems have been using it. Like we have teams like Avail, even Cardano is starting to use it now. So Sub0, I think, is starting to embrace the fact that this is not just a Polkadot developer ecosystem, but actually just a blockchain developer ecosystem, and that we, even if we're working on different projects with different coins or whatever, we can actually bring everyone together and have them, learn from one another, and make this overall framework, Substrate, and the Polkadot SDK better for everyone.
Awesome. Okay, and then from a core developer standpoint, what's happening in Polkadot?
Yeah. So what's interesting is that because the Polkadot SDK is very closely tied to Polkadot, a lot of the things we're trying to push and trying to build make their way into the ecosystem, right? I think from my perspective, I looked at Polkadot as a whole. There's kind of two big initiatives. One is to make Polkadot more accessible and easy to build on for developers. And so I think about that like in terms of bringing smart contracts and creating this thing called like the Polkadot Hub, which is going to be a home for all developers to be able to launch applications and projects very simply and easily. And then the other one is, of course, to continue to improve Polkadot as we know it today, which I kind of think of as the Polkadot cloud. This is like a Web3 cloud where people can basically launch applications and get all the resilience and decentralization and basically execution of a Web3 cloud platform. And so we're have two initiatives in that space. I think if you look at what we're doing with the hub, you can see we're bringing smart contracts. We're actually working on this new VM called PolkaVM, and it's I don't know how to describe it. It's a very awesome RISC-V based VM, which is we're looking to make backwards compatible with Ethereum smart contracts. So you can basically take a Solidity contract and deploy it. So that will really open up Polkadot so that anyone can go and run on it. And then of course, Jam, which is kind of the re-architecture of the Polkadot cloud, which is going to make basically, in my words, instead of Polkadot just being a blockchain of blockchains, it's going to be really a platform from anything. So really the idea here being that Jam basically allows us to take the same kind of technology and architecture we've had with Polkadot, which secures all these other blockchains. But now you can deploy any kind of application. The idea being that we have fancy mechanics there basically to take any application, even a video game, even a long-running application, into smaller blocks and execute it and secure it by Polkadot. So really, I think in terms of trying to become like, a computer for the world in the future, we're getting closer and closer to that. So that's kind of the two different verticals we've been targeting inside Polkadot.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then speaking of looking at the future, what are some of the most interesting trends you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, inside of Polkadot, I think, I think it's hard because everything is kind of exciting. So some of the things I'm seeing specifically with Polkadot is we built the technology. We're now trying to figure out, okay, how can we translate this technology into values that users understand and the world wants, right? And so we're definitely focusing a lot more now on how to actually make this technology get more easily in the hands of everyone. So that's definitely with smart contracts. We're going to be able to open up all the different avenues for people to just build and program their dots and add additional programming layers to all the different apps on Polkadot. But also we're looking into things like real world use cases. So we've been working on a project that I've been working on is with Gav. It's called Individuality, where basically we're trying to create a proof of personhood system where if we can actually and safely and in a way that's not infringing people's privacy, identify who individuals are, then we can solve one of the biggest unsolved problems in blockchain, which is Sybil resistance. So basically the issue with blockchain, and the reason why we have all these fees and all these different problems is that, well, if anyone can access the blockchain, they could just spam it and they could just cause all these dumb transactions. If we can actually tie people to saying, hey, this is actually a person. This is not a million different bots. This is a person. We can actually unlock scenarios like you can actually use the blockchain for free, like at least some amount of it, right? You can do a couple of transactions every day, no problem. And so this is all unlocked once you're able to identify this is a person versus this is a bot, right? And so we're working on clever ways that are a combination of game theory and technology and even zero-knowledge proofs to actually achieve those kinds of scenarios. But I think really, at a whole, what Polkadot is focused on is trying to take this technology, which we know is good, and put it in the hands of people and businesses and actually produce real value.
Awesome. This was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.